Hello, darlings. My name is Akita Akari Aurora, and welcome to Divine Reminders. One sec. Cards are ready, flying out. Let's see if they'll come back for you. Hi, my name is Akita Akari Aurora, and this is your Divine Reminder reading, Capricorns. These reminders are for your soul journey, for your purpose, for your mission. These reminders would allow your ego and your physicality and your soul to have a beautiful merge and marriage. We always need divine reminders, right? This will be a very potent month, and this week is a very powerful activating week. We're now at the end of it, or I guess two more days to go, but we're at the eclipse. We started out with Beltane, which is a fire festival, and we had, well, it's now the 5th, but yesterday was the 4th of May, which is a very powerful day always. And then today we have the 5-5 portal as well as a eclipse. So listen, hey, you see it's just kicking off with the first week in May, and it's like 3 activations within the first week, right? And we're not done yet, right? Mercury is in retrograde. The Sun and Mercury come together, Mercury and Taurus come together, and then Jupiter and Taurus come together. Listen, we have all types of stuff going on during May, conjunctions and activations and portals and eclipses and fire festivals, right? And what does fire do? Fire is that thing that kicks us into the next new form, that creates the new thing, right? So hey, we're definitely in the deeps. Oh, well, I should not say the depths, but the heights. We're in the heights of our upward spiral. Right? So I thought this would be the perfect time to launch my new reading, which is Divine Reminders, right? Reminders for our soul, reminders for our purpose, reminders to help us to remain authentic or now find our authentic self, right? And use all of that authenticity and our gifts to come together and be in alignment with our mission and our purpose, right? And the reason we came here. So we're going to use 3 decks. We're going to use the light activation deck to see what activations we're specifically going through during this month of May. We're going to use the cosmic journey deck, and that's going to give us some guides as to the questions we need to ask ourselves while we are on this cosmic journey of life, especially through this beautiful manifesting and meditative month of May. We are also going to look at the Starseed Oracle deck, which is an interesting deck. I've had it for a while, but I didn't really tap into it until now. And the cards that are coming out are really interesting cards. So they take they take a deeper look into the divine reminder just to let us know, hey, I'm reminding you that this is something that you might want to focus on a little more in order to make your upward spiral a little smoother and a much more soothing for you. Because we're all expanding our hearts. A lot of this stuff that we're doing is really about and calling in and releasing. It takes a lot of heart work, not hard work, but heart work. So it's important that we don't forget that, that love, how we love each other and ourselves, what we feel, hate, anger, prejudice, discrimination, jealousy, lust, whatever it is, all of these emotions, if we don't work on those and raise our perspective, then it's projected and we see it out in humanity. So whatever it is that we want to see less of, we have to really commit ourselves to not adding that to the earth realm through our behavior and through our thoughts and through our actions, right? And even through our thinking and through our words and through our speech. So I haven't pulled any cards yet, but this message is coming through for you Capricorn. So the way things are going, the cards will confirm if that's the message specifically for you. And what else do we have to say about this beautiful month? So this month I've been guided to call it manifesting month. We're going to see a lot of manifestations. But we're also required to do a lot of meditation, and meditation in terms of contemplation, as well as reflection, as well as just that old meditations. Sitting, I like to say ass in the grass meditation, but getting still and finding that quiet space and really allowing ourselves to connect with our higher self and the higher energies and the higher beings out there to connect with us and to connect with the divine energies within us, right? Let's not forget that divinity is not outside of us. It truly is within us. So when we're connecting, whether you think is up above, around, whatever, the connection point is truly within you, right? And we have to take these moments to breathe, to still ourselves, to exhale and inhale and meditate in order to really get those messages, really get that guidance, So let's just keep that in mind as we go through these cards and see what Spirit wants to remind you, beautiful Capricorns, hardworking, committed, and driven Capricorns. How Spirit wants to remind you of your divinity, right? Right. So that's the Starseed Oracle, the activation deck. Let's just get this one last shuffle for you, Capricorn, and then we will get started. So so we're going to tap in this month. We're going to tap into the air element, and we're going to tap into the earth element as we meditate, because that's really what we're doing when we do meditate. And that actually bridges us, allows us to be a bridge for the higher energies to connect into the lower energies, as well as deep within the earth, right? We are that bridge and that portal that helps those above and below to connect within us. All right, so don't forget that we are very much needed in this whole grand universal of life. Humans play a grand role, and our humanness, our physical bodies play a really important role. And I think that's really important for us to remember as we activate, as we ascend, as we go through all of these changes, remembering that the human body is the temple. They say earth is the altar and the human body is the temple. And in the Egyptian studies, they tell you how, well, the body was the first temple. So when we really was the first altar, So when we actually think of an altar, we think of, okay, let me place something on an altar. But in all Egyptian or ancient Egyptian or ancient Kemet, really the body, and that's why I guess we went from the body being the altar to the body being the temple. But really, it's our body that we really are honoring, because everything really that we lay on it or what we put in it, the temple is divine. What we lay on it is worthy to be praised. I don't want to say worship, because worship isn't really honored. I'll say honored. Worship, I don't think it's really a high impact, high energy word per se. I think, so anyway, just when you get into linguistics, even though I mess up words all the time, I've learned certain words not to use. All right. right, so let us see what's coming up for Capricorn. The divine reminders are here for Capricorns. I just should not have shuffled that. I gotta go get them. Oh, last shuffle, last shuffle, last shuffle. But I'm shuffling them good. No, I haven't had any repeats other than the Starseed oracles, right? And they were very synchronistic. And I think but the activation cards and the cosmic journey cards, I have not had any repeats yet, which is actually really good. It speaks to how differently we're all being activated, you know, and cohesively, that's really good because, you know, many parts make up the whole, right? So it's good, but I still have 4 more to do. So, but so far they have really been very individualistic, which is, I like that, you know, I like that. Make sure, yep. Sometimes these gods could run away from you, you know? So it's like crystals, they run away and show up when they want to months and years later. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys have that relationship with your crystals, but mine, I do with mine. I've actually become much more unattached with my crystals. So now when they go, I bless the leaving and I'm like, oh, somebody found a beautiful crystal today, you know. So, all right, let's go. Capricorns, let's see how you are being activated and what divine reminder Spirit is sending you this week and for this month. All right, I don't need to shuffle it too much. Clearly it has been shuffled. So we could jump right into it. Yeah. Capricorn. Divine reminder for Capricorn. Divine reminders for Capricorns. Divine reminders for Capricorns. Make sure that the volume comes through. Sometimes I move far away, the volume doesn't come through it. Make sure I'm in a good spot. The divine reminders for Capricorn. The Marian seed code, beautiful, beautiful activation, Capricorns, beautiful. Embracing your sensitivity, living with grace, and your uniqueness. Beautiful activation, Capricorn, beautiful, beautiful codes to receive during this month, beautiful. Let's see what else we got for you to go along with those Lemurian codes that are waking up within you. And the Lemurian codes, a lot of that is to do with the divine feminine essence. And it's interesting that that came through now because, well, Capricorn, we're in the Capricorn meta goddess, that energy, right? Well, it's an 18-month energy, but it started from January 2022, right? Up until I think September of this year, right? I think that might be, yeah, I think that's about 18 months. So we're under the Capricorn meta goddess, meaning that Capricorn energy, everybody's under that. And that is really helping us to tap into our wisdom and, you know, that ancient wisdom, the feminine wisdom at that, the feminine ancient wisdom at that. So, and then now it's we're in this influence of feminine energy again, Gene Key 2. So I'm just tapping into the synchronicity of these Lemurian codes and how you really could be in an expansive way, how you can be being activated during this month. And when we say tapping into our feminine, it's not just like necessarily the female, but almost that essence and that energy of flowing and gentleness and intuition and nurturing, you know, the essence of a feminine as opposed to a female woman. You know what I mean? So those type of things activating within you, Capricorns, males or females, that the nature of being receptive, even because the feminine essence is all about being receptive, you know. So being able to receive, you know, and being able to nurture. So as living with grace, uniqueness. So finding your own uniqueness in this path, you know. So divine reminder, finding your own uniqueness, tapping into grace. And what is grace? You know, grace is just that gentleness, you know, that purity of heart, that forgiveness, that understanding, that love, like all of that. You know, when we feel like we have accessed grace, we feel loved and cherished and not judged and safe. You know what I mean? So all of that is being activated and woken up within you. These codes are being reawakened within you, Capricorn, in order for you to manifest and meditate and go through these activations of May and the uprising spiral that we're on right now. Gosh, just flying all over. This activation spiral up that we are experiencing right now. I'm gonna stop shuffling and then they'll stop flying. Oh man. See how we're gonna fly through this. Through this month, Capricorn, you're gonna fly. You're not ascending, you're flying. You and the cards are flying. All right, Capricorn, divine reminder. And I just said there weren't any repeats. I know that was gonna happen. So you and Virgo got the same message. How can this be a wonderful win? And I didn't tap into this with the Virgo message, but now Spirit is saying orange, and that's creation, right? So with the Capricorns, and again, it's this feminine energy because this orange, well, you know, it's sacral energy. Orange is sacral energy, but that's and again, community. And I didn't remember this it didn't come to me, but it sure is coming in now, loud and clear. So it's more for Capricorn than the Virgo. I think the Virgos probably had that. Don't need that divine reminder, but perhaps the Capricorns need it. That tapping in again to this feminine essence within themselves, whether that's a masculine or a female, the receptive nature, the creativity, you know, the power, and also the connection with the community, because that's all about that orange, that sacral energy. And this is number 16, right? All right, so how can we make this into a wonderful win-win-win situation? That means I win, my inner team wins, my outer team wins, or my micro team wins, and my macro team wins. Everybody wins, right? A triple win. So again, staying positive and looking at it from a perspective where your creations, that your creations are a win for everybody. I would say doubt, you know what I mean? Sometimes doubt creeps in, Pessimism is what's coming to mind. Doubt, criticism, and pessimism. Being aware of those things that we do to ourselves, not necessarily coming from somebody else, but for you, coming you, Capricorn, self-criticizing, self-doubting, you know, being pessimistic as opposed to optimistic, you know. So universe wants to remind your soul and you and your physicality that it's a win-win-win situation. So you don't need to think negatively about it. You're unique, you know. Give a little grace to it. Allow grace to play its role, to play its part in this big play of life, game of life. And then everybody wins, really. If grace takes hold, then everybody wins because there's no judgment. There's an understanding, there's an acceptance, there's just loving, a loving nature, which is rolling in compassion. You know what I mean? So who loses in that situation, right? So Capricorns, I'm getting the message of kind of like softening up a little bit, you know, taking it slower. Don't worry so much. Soften up a little bit because Capricorns are very driven. So sometimes we need to take a step back and like tap more into, again, like this, none of this came up for the Virgo, but I'm really getting it for the Capricorn. Like instead of being so boardroom, you know, driven boardroom business, take a little softer approach, you know, not so much, you don't find much uniqueness in corporate structures. They want you to fall in line. You know what I mean? And I think the divine reminders here, because it says embracing your sensitivity. Yeah, man, it's this feminine essence. Really tapping into our feminine essence. On my Facebook page, you look at it, it has, I posted about Gene Key 2 today, which is big about the feminine essence. Really, it is. That's all it's about, is that feminine essence and us getting into this energy of being receptive and flowing, and really that energy allowing the formation of your Taurus, which is your protection. You know what I mean? Because you are flowing into everything, and it, that is the essence of creation, is the flow, you know. So look at that, see if how that might give you some divine reminders as well. My Facebook page, Gene Keep 2. And because this is about you tapping into more of the softer side of yourself, the uniqueness, the, I guess, literally embracing sensitivity, grace, your uniqueness, and being comfortable with that, you know, because sometimes we are only comfortable showing strength and we really don't know how to melt, to be soft, and to trust that it's okay for me to not be hard and strong and tough. I can still achieve things in a softer nature, using a softer voice, being not as aggressive, but perhaps more assertive, or not even being assertive, but just trusting and allowing, you know. So yeah, let's see what the star seed deck has to kind of like confirm which way these divine reminders are going. And then we will go into the books. Be the high five. Hatha, that's Taurus energy, and Hatha is about the house of light again, too, and music and the feminine essence and love, right? Well, I'm excited to see this deck's view on the Hatha energy and what message that is coming in for Capricorns, because divine timing, we're in Hatha energy right now. That's the Taurus energy. And it says deep love, yes. Mother's milk and birth as a portal. Yeah, birth as a portal. Yes, I love it. I love it. All right, so yeah, man, this feminine energy, Capricorns, right? Your divine reminders are telling you to embrace your softer side. Embrace your softer side, and everybody wins. When you do, it's okay for you to be softer, and maybe that's the message Capricorns needed to hear. The feminine and the masculine Capricorns, it's okay to take a softer side towards life. It's okay to not be as critical, try to release some of those doubts that you have, and, be more allowing to maybe some stuff that you weren't allowing before. Allow yourself to engage in new things, give yourself that permission to soften up so that you can melt and mold into a new form. And that's really what it's about. It's you softening up so you can melt and mold into this new form that you are to becoming, and which will allow whatever it is out there for you to come on in. But there's some softening that is required, right? Some receptivity. Yeah. All right, let's get into the book. Oh, let's get into the book. So we're going to go into the activation one first, and that's a Lumerian seed code. All right. Lemuria was a civilization that was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in ancient times. The inhabitants of this sacred land lived in complete harmony with nature and had a connection with every living being, similar to the movie Avatar. Their inner vision was fully activated to the point where it was thought that their pineal gland was fully developed and they could see for hundreds of miles in every direction. In a similar way to the sonar of dolphins and whales, the majority operated from their heart space, honoring one another and nature. So much so that when their civilization came to an end through a cataclysmic event, most likely the plates of the earth shifting, causing volcanic eruptions and a tsunami, most of them ascended. All right, so this is really about being in balance with the earth and nature and your community. And when things get really serious, they ascended, right? So they shifted up, right? And really, that's what we're all taking the higher road, right? If we could all just remember that within ourselves, that when things get really tough and it looks cataclysmic, we got to take the higher road. And that's really what we're doing now. That's what we are guiding. We are being guided to do as humans, as things look crazy and cataclysmic out there, that we take the higher road, so that's a divine reminder for all of us, right? So to connect to these Lemurian codes awakening within you, Capricorns. Visualize yourself on an island surrounded by a pale blue waters, living in harmony with all living beings. If you own a Lemurian seed crystal, hold it in your left hand. Call out to the ancient ones of Lemuria and invite them to share their wisdom. And there are a lot of Lemurian meditations on YouTube too that you can do. It's really about going into the depth of your own waters and finding that peace and balance within yourself and your connection with nature, right? Whales and dolphins are really good animals and meditations that you can use on YouTube to really connect to your Lemurian codes within you. Right, just waking up that part of you that is really in harmony with nature. Right, we need that connection to be reawakened. Right, again, I said maybe coming out of the boardroom and going back into nature and the garden, because Capricorns are very, driven, hardworking, all of that. So it's like, they need you to go back into the garden, come out of the boardroom and go back into the garden, tap into nature and your sensitivities, embracing your sensitivities to nature and to animals and all that type of stuff, tapping into them, being attuned to them and to more to your heart space, So your message, you are a highly sensitive being. You might feel that this is a curse, but this card is here to let you know that it is a gift. Yeah, and whenever we don't really understand how to use our gifts, we think it's a curse. So it indicates that you have spent lifetimes upon lifetimes living with a giant shield up to stop the world seeing the real you. Time to let down that shield, those shields, Capricorns. And I would say tap into your moon sign, because the moon sign is about your intuitive nature. If you have Cancer in your chart, maybe look at that. Cancer is really about our home and our nurturing. Look to see if where Cancer falls into your chart. Yeah, to also tap into more of your receptive natures. Let's see. It indicates that you have spent lifetimes upon lifetimes living with a giant shield up to stop the world seeing the real you. Look for Cancer and look into your moon sign. Tap in more to your moon signs. That will help you to uncover the layers within yourself, allowing that to come into play. I've also been telling a lot of people in the readings, or a lot of the readings in the readings, for people to look into their north nodes. That's where we're headed to, because we're in this upward spiral. So look at your north nodes to help you to feel comfortable in your shedding. I'm getting that, the Capricorns, you're going to go through this shedding in order for you to allow these codes to awaken. There's some shedding that's needed. So you've been hiding these highly unique gifts and souls. You are a highly unique soul with incredible gifts that are worth sharing. Through embracing your uniqueness, you can help many others embrace their own. This lifetime is a more graceful existence with less defense and more trust. It's not about protecting yourself, but stepping into the space of surrender and revealing your true self. Yeah, and uncovering. And I know exactly where you are, Capricorn, because I've been there, and I had to shed and trust that it's okay for me to do my gifts, for me to practice my gifts and talents here. It's okay. I will be safe. And I know that there's fear there, and there's a lack of trust. And it's like riding a bike. It's like walking the tightrope. It's like trying anything new for the first time. You're scared. And you just got to practice it, practice it, practice it. And also remind yourself that, hey, I have these gifts for a reason. And God would not have planted these seeds and codes within me if they were not meant to be activated and used. So it's time for me to activate and use the codes that are waking up within me. And I didn't say it much for these set, but they've told us they were junk DNA, and it's not our junk DNA, it's really our ancient galactic DNA and codes that are and genes that are really waking up within us in this season, in this timeline, and we really need to allow them to in order to release our gifts and talents for the world, right? To find our true self, right? Surrendering our ego to allow our true self to really come into being. The only self is your true self, So let's go into the cosmic. And this number 16, again, that win-win-win situation. Again, I don't know if you have any Virgo in your chart. So some of you guys might have Virgo because this came up with Virgo reading too, win-win-win. And it's about those creations that we think are taboo, really, or scary, really people loving them. Let's think of I mentioned Beyonce and Michael Jackson, right? Two dynamic Virgos, probably the most popular Virgos in the world, and Prince, but look at their creations and look how they're little out of the box and different and unique, but look at the impact it had. Suppose Prince wasn't Prince and he just was trying to be like somebody else, but instead of saying, hey, I'm going to be an artist with no name, I'm going to be that different artist that nobody gets but loves and is mesmerized. Suppose Michael Jackson said, well, I'm going to be like another artist as opposed to being just himself, and same thing with Beyonce. So when we create these creations that you're holding, with these Lemurian seed codes, they're really going to be great for everybody. So you have to feel confident within your creativity and your own uniqueness that your creations, remember that sacral chakra, that our creations will be good for not just ourselves, but for the world and for for our community. Sacral energy is about our relationships with our own relationships with our family and our heritage and ancestors, but also with our community and our creations. Are we creating for the whole? What are we creating for our lineage? What are we creating for our community? All of that. So yeah, let's get into the book. Number 16, I'll read it quickly. And it says, how can this be a wonderful win-win-win? In the situation that you're in, there's a solution that can truly help you, your community, and your planet, your venture, everybody. So everybody wins, yet something holds you back. What's holding you back, Capricorn? Your doubts, your self-criticism, your pessimism. What's holding you back, Capricorn? Let it go. So you can allow your true self to create for you and the world, for the planet, they said. Do you even really need to be persuaded and influenced to do what's better for you and the world? Perhaps there is a deep-seated belief that you don't deserve. Do you worry that any act that benefits you must be selfish and thus an evil scheme? Know that there is a path that leads to your win-win-win. Your evil scheme is one for global good, right? So that's what I was talking about, that Beyonce and that Michael Jackson and that Prince effect, right? you know, it's not everybody they might not be everybody's cup of tea, but their creations, oh my God. Who doesn't know a Prince song? Who don't know a Beyonce song? Who don't know a Michael Jackson song? You know, and who hasn't danced and had fun to all three of those artists and their creations, regardless of whether you think they too much, too little, too small, too big, too this, too that. Their creations serve the world and have brought the world joy and peace and fun and dance and songs. You know what I mean? So go ahead, do your thing, Capricorn. Don't let any small-minded thoughts generating within you prevent you from doing what you are here to create and give to the world. All right. What's possible? Anything, if you can imagine it. So your cosmic catalyst question is, what is my idea for an evil scheme for global good? Right? So your evil scheme, they really want you to know that whatever you think is, that's not going to be good, but no, I can't do that, because they're like, go ahead and go do it. Okay. Your evil scheme is for the planetary good. And isn't that beautiful? Cosmic checkbox. Research at least 10 example businesses or projects already making the world a better place with their evil scheme. All right. So that's something to think about. Look at businesses that might be a little different, but making it, you know, and that they're not I guess they're more taboo, or don't have to be taboo, just, you know, oh, somebody was thinking out of the box with this one. This wasn't just a regular let's go make some money, you know, the safe way, you know, that type of way. All right, so let's look into the Hatha. I'm so curious to see what this Hatha card is going to say, but it just falls right in line with, again, that female energy, right? And tapping into that, the real true power of that feminine essence, you know. So I think that's going to be more of the message, and trusting, really trusting our creations. I think that's a divine reminder, trusting your uniqueness, trusting your creations. Let's go into the last one. All right. Hathors, we the Hathors, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Right to it. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother, and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. So yeah, man, they just want you to create and trust it. Ugh, I love it. I love it. It's a very deep message, Capricorns. This is a tender, nourishing card, reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. Yes. I saw it, man. I saw it coming out. It was the only one way to go with this. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms, feeling safe, right? And this is also some root chakra work too, because it's like feeling safe and secure and nourished and loved here. And our creations, you know, so that's some root chakra work is there too for you to do, Capricorns, during this big month, you know, and that will help you to cross the bridge and help you to awaken your Lumerian codes, because you got to feel safe. And if we don't feel safe, we don't feel safe to release our creations or to even create our deep sacred creations, right? And to do our soul work and our soul soul purpose. So feeling safe is a big, or fear is a big blockage to not allowing these sacred creations to come and to manifest. This is a card of extreme potency. I can feel it. Of femininity, of creation, yes, and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and others too, to surrender to your sacred femininity, to create and surrender to your own creations, to hold and to be held. Yes, 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 I felt that. Yes, Capricorns, it's a deep, deep sense of love and safety and nourishing and connecting to the earth and really knowing that, hey, the Mother Earth holds me. I'll give you guys this because it came to me. I think I gave it for the Cancer reading, yes, which is that a couple of years ago, I woke up and the universe said to me, your home is in the vastness of the universe. That's your home. And sometimes every time I hear the word fast, it just reminds me of that download, of that message that came through to me one day. I heard a voice saying that to me, girl, your home is the vastness of this universe. And that makes me feel so safe and so secure to do the work that I've come here to do. That really, when I connected with that message, it really changed me. And, I'm from the Hathor line, right? My people are Hathor, my ancient ancestry. Not even so much ancient, really, but my grandmothers, right? The House of Light, the Hathors, so yeah, so really we have to feel safe. We really do have to feel safe in sorry that my cosmic ancestry. Anyway, there's so many different frameworks and stuff like that, but I don't want to dishonor anybody in my speech. But yeah, so we have to feel safe here, and that's a big part of allowing our creations to come through, feeling safe, so that we all can win. So let me go back into it, but it's a very deep message. So I just want to spend some time with that, is to feel safe on this earth, the root chakra, and I guess that's where we go from the feeling safe, then the sacral, right? So just tapping into those energies as well. So you're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is waiting, is watching your every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container. Mosquitoes biting me. Right? That's a divine reminder that you're being cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you can properly imagine. And you have access to more love than your heart can bear. It is really something to behold and to accept that as your reality. And these are divine reminders, and they want you to really know that. And it's important when you really know that, trust that, and receive that message, then you're safe, you feel safe, because this is also about allowing that inner child to come out and create what she is here or he is here to create for you and for the universe, So if you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the overflowing love of the cosmic mother, flowing towards you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. Sorry. I'm feeling things. And I'm not seeing it, but I'm feeling things. Woo. Star seed activation. And not a lot of these cards, these zodiacs got the star seed activation. Some of them were soul inquiries, right? This is a big one. Capricorn, I think this you're being highly activated and transmuted. I think this month is going to be very pivotal for you. Because this is also and because this message is so deep. This Hatha card is really accepting a very deep love, and it's so much shared energy with that Lemurian energy. What's waking up to you? Because again, you see the codes that wake up. we have to allow. We have to allow our transmutation and allow our activations and allow our ascension. That's why the allowance is so big in our affirmations of releasing, right? Allowing the things to come in and allowing the release so that the shift can happen within. So this is a starseed activational month for you, Capricorns, and this is your activation. Place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. I allow the deep love of the cosmic mother to watch over me. I'm loved. I'm held. Say it 3 times. I allow the deep love of the cosmic mother to wash over me. I'm loved. I'm held. Breathe in, take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath out. And say that one more again. I allow the deep love of the cosmic mother to wash over me with the Lemurian codes. Wash over me, awaken me. I'm loved and I am held. And when you keep on doing that, your creations are going to be win-win-win situations, right? For you, for your community at large and within. These are your messages. These are your divine messages, Capricorn, okay? Tap into that feminine essence, that receptive, feeling held and nourished and protected by Mother Earth, and allowing you to birth, feeling safe enough to give birth, to release your babies into the realm of this world. All right. These are your divine reminders, Capricorn, a very, very deep and sacred message. And I really hope that your soul and your ego receives them with love and grace. All right. Have a wonderful month, Capricorns. Bye.